Now dear students, we are going to learn about some of the board settings, and these settings are done before you design your board. So over here on the top toolbar over here you can see this button, edit board setup. Click on this. This will open up the board setup window. Over here the first thing that are very important settings are the board stackup settings. In this board stackup settings, the first thing is the board editor layer. In the board editor layer, these are list of all the layers that are currently present in our PCB. Over here you can even if you uncheck this layer will be removed from my PCB, and only you can do this remove these layers as per your requirement. Only those layers will be removed that are not of copper, or you can say in a simple words that only non-copper layers can be removed. Let me show you first of all the actual list of layers. Let me check this and hit OK. On the right side over here in the appearance section in layers, you can see list of all these layers that are present in our PCB. So let's say I don't want to have a front adhesive and back adhesive layer in my PCB. So what I will do, I will go to board setup, and in the board setup I will uncheck this front adhesive and back adhesive layer and hit OK. Now you can see on the right side under appearance section that our front adhesive and back adhesive layer is not present in the layer section. So in this way you can add and remove layers from the PCB using the board setup. So let's just again tick this checkbox so that we can add these layers. The next thing is there are two copper layers, front copper and back copper layer. You can say them either a signal layer, power plane, mixed or jumper layer. You can specify any of these four. Similarly, you can do this with the bottom copper layer. So in this way you can add and remove your designated layer. So if you want to change the name of, let's say this is the front copper layer, I want to say it as let's say signal copper layer. Let's say in this way if I hit OK, you can see that in the appearance section the name of that copper layer has now changed. In this way you can even change the name of your layer, whichever name you want to choose for your layers in the PCB. So let's again open the board setup. In the board setup, the next thing is the physical stackup. This physical stackup is very important because these are actually the physical properties of the PCB that you want to have. The first thing is that is copper layer are two. Let's say if I want to choose copper layers that I should want to have 4 copper layers, hit on 4 and you can see that there are 2 more copper layers that are added in the PCB, inner one and this inner 2 copper layer, and these are 2 more layers added in the PCB. So let's hit OK and let's see what changes are made in the appearance layer section of the appearance. So over here you can see under the appearance section and layers that there are 2 more copper layers are now added. So again go to board setup to see further settings of the PCB. Let's just switch back to 2 layers so that we can understand more things. So over here on against each layer, like this is the front silk screen, it has an ID, that is the name of this layer, and the type of the layer, and the material that with which this layer is made, and thickness parameter in which thickness is specified. In the colors are specified, and this is the epsilon r and last n. So over here you can even change the material of your PCB for each and every layer. And let me just cancel this. And over here this is the top solder mask. You can even change these. Similarly, for the core material, you want to choose whichever you prefer to be used for your PCB. So let's just close this. So in this way you can specify different parameters for your layers, like material thickness, and even you can change the color of your layer. uh, this color will be is actually the physical color of the PCB. So overhead there is a board thickness from the stack up. Adding up all this will turns out to be 1.6 mm. So this will be the total thickness of the board. After the physical stack up, the next thing is the board finish. In the board finish, if you have a castellated pad, check this plated board. I click on this, and what type of copper finish you want. Over here these are the list of the copper finish that is given. If you click on user defined, then it will take the fields of the user defined copper layers. And edge card connectors, if it is an edge card connector, then hit yes, or yes with the beveled one. So these are few settings in the board finish. The next thing is solder mask and paste. So solder mask expansion, it is 0 mm. So it is the positive clearance means area bigger than the pad. So solder mask minimum web width, solder mask to copper clearance, and these are all the settings that are associated with the solder mask paste. So in the board stack up you have 4 types of setting. The board editor layer, uh, in board editor layer you specify the name of the layer, and the layers you want to add or not are removed from your PCB. The next thing is the physical stack up layer, in which you actually define your PCB, how this physically it will look. The next thing is board finish. This have a few settings, then the settings related that are to solder mask and paste. So hope you have understood the board stack up of the KiCad. Hit just OK.